Following the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and others, we have seen nationwide calls to change policing in this country. As we welcome you back here at 5:30, I'm Maurice DuBois.
And I'm Natalie Dudridge. The deadline is fast approaching for police departments across New York State to redesign themselves or lose state funding. Governor Cuomo's executive order gives the police until April 1st to show him their plans.
The people advising the NYPD on its effort include a commission of community leaders who've taken a listening tour through the boroughs. I asked two of them to show us how they think the NYPD needs to change.
We can't allow Black and brown persons to be racialized when it comes to policing, to be marginalized in any aspect or respect.
Jennifer Jones-Austin is CEO and Executive Director of the Federation of Protestant Welfare Agencies, an anti-poverty group. Arva Rice is President and CEO of the New York Urban League. Their mission to fulfill the governor's mandate for reform.
That all police departments around the state do this. Do you feel like it's sincere?
We do know that in the conversations that we've had with the mayor's office, the conversations that we've had with the police department, that they recognize that this moment will not pass without change. And so whether their efforts are fully sincere or not, the community is demanding it.
And so we're here to say, you know what, don't shy away. If ever there was a moment, if ever the nation is paying attention, it is now. We're hearing a lot about the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency, the lack of discipline. We're hearing officers talk about how they're feeling in this moment, how they are at times feeling like they're not prepared for this moment, that, you know, sometimes they're called out to address issues concerning persons with mental health challenges, or they're called out to police homelessness.
The Civilian Complaint Review Board, the CCRB, the major complaint about the CCRB is that it has no teeth, right? How do you make that accountability actually real?
It's one of the things that always comes to mind when we talk about accountability. What are the ways in which we can provide greater accountability, make the CCRB have more powers?
The preferred word, in my opinion, not defund the police. Because, you know, we know that that just sets up all bells and whistles and has people saying, oh, you know, like they don't want any policing, you know, you can't be with them. Budget justice, you know, disinvest, reinvest in communities.
So we think that defunding the police means that the police don't need to be involved in every single aspect of things. But the fact is that who do you call at 3 o'clock in the morning? Who do you call it at 5 o'clock in the morning when you're having some type of issue? And we think that there should be alternative places to call that do not lead to escalation, violence, and killing of our people.
When this process is over on April 1st, what's it going to look like? What is police reform?
Policing that is fair, that's safe, that's accountable, and that's just for everybody, not just white, affluent people, but Black and brown people, immigrant people, people in the LGBT community, that everybody, as they walk the streets of New York City, can feel like they're being treated fairly and responsibly by the police.
I think that on April 1st, as we have been told by many of our advocates, is the beginning of the process. As long as we have policing, as long as we have poverty, as long as we have structural racism, we know that we're going to have to continue to do this work.
NYPD hopes to have a plan in place again by April 1st, as do all departments around the state of New York. Also, we should tell you that Wes Moore, the CEO of Robin Hood, is also part of the NYPD task force looking at reforms.